right, dear ones, I have a lovely stretching practice prepared for you. Differently than in a yin yoga class, though, we're not going to hold postures for quite as long. And some poses are even standing postures and will involve a little bit of that kind of awakening in the muscles. But the intention is still to really open, lengthen, and expand through the whole body. A block can be really useful for today's practice. A blanket, just if you need a little extra padding here and there. And then when you're ready, let's come into a tabletop position. And I want to give you a little bit of time for almost like a little mini warm up that can involve some circles in your hips. It could be some of the kind of traditional cat and cow movement, arching and rounding the spine. You might check in with the neck. So I want to offer a little freestyle here so that you can really start to check in with your own body and where movements kind of lead you in that more instinctive, more intuitive way. Right? That could include a child's pose or straightening one leg behind you. And I'll give you a few more moments with that. While I also want to invite you to start noticing your breath a little bit more. So whether you're moving, whether you're pausing in any of these postures, but notice your breath a little bit more. And take just about 3 more breaths here. Maybe sighs, maybe some of these deep and more audible breaths if you enjoy those. All right. And then from that tabletop position, we're going to step our left foot forward to the outside of our hands. It's fairly close to the edge of the mat. Turning the foot out about 45 degrees. And this is where a yoga block could be super helpful, as well as some padding under the back knee if the pressure feels a little too deep there for you. Okay. Make sure the foot comes forward enough so there's plenty of space for the hips to really sink forward and down. For now, I'm looking up, so plenty of space across my torso and chest so I can really connect with my breathing quite easily. And then letting the weight of the hips sink a little more. And we'll take just another 3 slow breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly come on back. And make your way to the other side. So step right foot forward towards the edge of the mat. Turn your foot out so we're already tapping into that external hip rotation. And then allow your hips to sink forward and down, working with gravity here. Yeah. Start to notice your breath, of course. Feel free to adjust your body, really personalizing those postures as much as you can. And then we'll take a brief moment to land. Just enough time to take a little snapshot of what's going on, really taking in sensations. The parts of the body that are receiving attention right now. Good. And take just another deeper breath in. And exhale, slowly pull the hips back. You can set your block aside for now. Coming back to tabletop position. And if down dog is part of your practice, spread your hands open wide, curl your toes under, lift your hips. If putting weight onto your wrists, elbows, shoulders is not appropriate at this time, maybe you're navigating an injury, come into your standing forward bend. Walk your feet forward and just let your torso drape over your legs. Yeah, in down dog, what I really want you to hone in on here right now is that lengthening and elongating through the spine. So my knees are bent quite a bit, so I can really come into this gorgeous long spine, lifting the sits bones. Good. And then again, just a few breaths, just a moment to settle in, notice your body, breathe. And then as you feel ready, we'll take small steps, walking the feet forward, walking the hands back. So however this works for you, coming into a standing forward bend and gathering our yoga block, placing it right towards the midline of our mat. So our feet and block create kind of like a tripod. Now, my right hand is on the block, and I'm also bending my right knee a little. You're going to notice your right hip dropping, and then adding a twist to it, so letting the left arm reach out and all the way up towards the ceiling. Good. If you can, get a sense for like a really long spine, so your chest kind of pulling forward to the front of the mat, and that might mean offering yourself a little more height, right? So if I bring that block up a little higher or even use a chair under my hand, I'll be able to keep my spine much longer and then allowing for that rotation from there. So right knee bend, left arm reaches up. And then see if you can begin to tap into this quality of expansion and length. Right? See if left arm can reach just a little higher. If spine can grow a little longer. Yeah, and we'll take just one more breath in here. And then slowly let that go. We'll come to the other side right away. So left hand on your block, left knee bending while the right leg stays straight. And then begin to explore rotation to the right side. Stacking right shoulder on top of left shoulder. Pressing into the left hand in order to reach right arm up higher. And even the lengthening through the spine. When you're ready, notice your breath. Pausing. Notice your body here now. Great. Let's take just another, maybe even more expansive breath in. Inhale. And exhale, let that go. Let your torso fold back over your legs, just releasing the arms and shoulders for a brief moment. Inhale here. Exhale, let it go. And then bend both knees, roll up to stand. Take your time, one vertebrae at a time. The arms are going to come out and all the way up. Interlace your fingers overhead with your index fingers pointing. Start out by really feeling the feet on the ground, maybe spreading the toes a little wider, covering a little more space on your mat with your feet. And then from that grounding, begin to lengthen your whole body once again. The elbows may be straight or bent, so this is going to work a little differently for your shoulders. And from this kind of glorious length here, you may go ahead and lean slightly back. We'll pause. We'll take that next snapshot. To feel the body right here, right now. Yeah. Inhale just one more time. And then let the arms relax by your sides. Yeah. Oh, if you like, close your eyes for just a moment. Oh, feeling the blood kind of rushing back into your arms, your hands, your fingers. Good. And then when you feel ready to continue, we'll turn around to face the long side of our mat with our feet a little wider. So maybe about 2.5 feet or so. And then see if your left foot, if you're mirroring me, can turn out towards the short end of the mat, and right foot keeps pointing to the long end of the mat. Essentially, we're coming into a triangle pose by letting our arms come out to about shoulder height. And then here's the thing to really look for. See if your left hip can drop down with your right hip lifting on top. And as you find that kind of tilting movement in the pelvis, reach forward through the left arms. We're looking for a nice long side body on the left side. And then lower your hand down. You can either place your hand onto your shin, or if you have a yoga block around, you can also work with your yoga block. I want to add in a neck stretch here. So we're going to linger in triangle for a few breaths. See if you can flip your top hand back and then reach that arm behind your lower back. And from there, turn your gaze down towards your left foot and look past your pinky toe, perhaps even past the edge of your mat. So the shoulder kind of rolls open. The head is turning to the left side until you feel some sensations through the side of the neck. Let's settle in. Notice your breathing. Following that path of sensation, just see where that takes you in your own body. Yeah. Inhale just one more time. Yeah, and then slowly make your way up. Bring your feet parallel. Release your arms. Maybe take just one breath to notice your neck and shoulders. And we'll make our way to the second side. So turning your right foot towards the short end of the mat. Let arms come out to about shoulder height. Start with the front arm reaching forward before you come down. Notice with that the tilting in the hips. And then let your hand land wherever it naturally lands. Might be your shin, might be your thigh, might be a block if that feels supportive. The opposite arm coming up. Now notice also my shoulders are stacked right on top of each other. Flipping the top hand and taking that arm across my lower back. As the head turns, the shoulder is gonna wanna fall forward. So see if you can pay a little attention to rolling that shoulder open And then slowly begin to turn your head, look down at your right foot, and then begin to look past your right foot until you feel that neck sensation. And this is where we'll pause. Breathe. Taking it all in this whole landscape of sensations, weight, effort, ease, breathing. Yeah. Inhale just one more time. Slowly let that go. Come on up. The feet parallel to each other. Take a breath. Let both arms come out and up. And this time, fold upper body forward, coming into that wide-legged forward bend. Now the hands can be on the ground. The hands can grab hold of your ankles. You can move your feet further apart or closer together. Yeah. Now with all the standing postures, there was quite a bit of work happening around the shoulders, neck, and even back. So as you kind of pour yourself forward, see if there can be a little bit of ease, especially across your torso. Just sort of letting gravity invite you to relax into that shape a bit more. And we'll take just about 3 more breaths here. Awesome. One more inhale. And exhale. Good. Now, bending both knees so that your right hand can reach the floor quite easily, the palm flat on the ground. And with that support, go ahead and bring right foot to meet left foot. So you're coming to sit on your mat. Yeah, we're going to come into a butterfly here. So opening the knees apart and bringing the soles of the feet together. Now, if you are like me, the knees are off the ground quite a bit. You might bring in the support of a blanket or a cushion, something that you can sit on, because it will allow the knees to drop a little bit more easily. We're starting out one more time with that long spine, lifting the chest, taking a deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, initially hinge forward from your hips, let your hands come out in front. But then allow your spine to come into that really soft flexion, this light rounding in the spine. If you have your block around, it could be fun to bring that in for some support. Could be your forehead resting on that block. Yeah, here we are, venturing into our hip joints a little more. Yeah. Well, take just a few more breaths here. And what I want to offer is, if you find that just coming into stillness is what seems most valuable to you, yes, please go right for it. However, sometimes it can be fun to explore some really subtle movements here, such as a tiny bit of that flat back, so a little bit of a lengthening forward through the spine. And then to see, ooh, how are sensations changing there around the hips. There could be a little swaying, a little side to side movement here. So I just wanted to offer a few more options in how to be, how to respond. These different ways in which we can explore here. Yeah. And let's go ahead and make that next breath a little bigger. And let it go. Exhale. Slowly make your way up to sit. We're going to lie down on our back. We'll come into one more posture there. So if you like, of course, some padding under the head could be lovely here. Keep your block in reach if you have it, or else any other cushions or props. And then initially, come to lie down on your back for a moment. Yeah. Pausing here. Noticing your body now. Inhale. And exhale. Now we'll keep our right leg long on the ground and take your left leg all the way up towards the ceiling. Now, what I want to come into, and it's really okay if the knee is a little bent, but coming into a pretty vertical position in the left leg. Okay, so if bending the knee helps you to bring your leg a little closer towards your torso, go ahead and do that. The arms are going to be out to your sides in a T shape, and we're going to take our left leg across the midline, letting the left hip come up and lowering the foot all the way down to the ground. Now, if coming all the way down feels like way, way, way too sensational around your hip and outer thigh, that's where our yoga block can come in, creating a little bit of height under the foot. Okay. But my left leg and torso are in that about 90-degree angle. Again, perfectly okay if the knee is slightly bent. My left arm comes out, which means I'm bringing in this nice deep rotation, opening the chest. And right arm can pretty much be wherever it chooses to be now. Yeah. You're welcome to close your eyes. You're welcome to be here with your eyes open. You may begin with your breathing, simply taking a few slower breaths as this way of settling in, sort of arriving in that shape a bit more. Yeah. And then again, take that snapshot. Take just a few more breaths. And really notice what's happening right now, right here. Breathe in. And breathe out. And see about lifting, raising left leg back up. Stepping down, you might bend both knees for a moment so you can center your hips, center your shoulders, and then eventually bring left leg long and lift right leg up. If props were helpful here for you, bring them over to the other side. Bringing your leg a little further towards your chest if you can. Take a breath in. And then exhale, take your leg across. Allow the right hip to lift. And if needed, propping up your leg with a block or really any other yoga prop. The right arm might need a moment of attention too. Are you sliding it in towards the body or reaching back? Maybe there's a prop underneath the right arm as well. Yeah. Following your breath now. It's also this way of anchoring your attention back into the body. You may also begin to take in what's happening inside of yourself a little more. That might include your state of being. Your energy level, your responses. And in that way, connecting with yourself a little more too. Yeah, take another breath here. Good. Now, raising our right leg up again. And then find a way to come onto your back as comfortably as possible. So if that means adjusting props or placing something under your knees, please go ahead and do that. Yeah, and I'd like to circle back on this intention to stretch and open and expand different parts of the body. And as we're taking a couple of minutes to rest here, see if you can find one part of the body that in fact feels open and expansive now. It might be your belly or your chest. It could be the front of your hips. Or maybe the palms and fingers. So openness can really show up in expected or also really unexpected places. Maybe a part of your face. And then as you circle in on that, choosing just one part if you notice openness in different places in the body, and then pause there and feel that openness and expansiveness a little bit more now. And feel it even more. Notice your inner state shifting, responding, changing as you're connecting with openness in your body now. Yeah, make your next breath really big, that big, expansive breath now. And let that go. Yeah, one more time, think of it as this full body breath, breathing into every single cell in your body. And exhale. Yeah. Let the knees bend, roll to either side. Make your way up to sit. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me today. And thanks for practicing yoga. Namaste.